Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Tuesday the 6th of October. Starting off with Bacanora Minerals, where you can see that there's been quite a flurry. I've been watching this stock for a couple of days, and obviously yesterday would have been a good day to cover it, but as it was Bacanora, I thought I'd give it another day, which obviously was a mistake. Current situation is that we're closing in on the initial target here, which is that March resistance line projection of 37 pence. After that, obviously, we're looking at the old peak from the beginning of the year as well, but up to 50 pence, the best case scenario on a 2 to 3 month view, while we hold above post-June resistance around the 27 pence, so above 27 pence up to a possible 50 pence on Bacanora, probably hitting that line there from December on, as I said, a 2 to 3 month view, or perhaps even less. Destiny Pharma is the next stock, which seems to be doing rather well at the moment. That's said on the basis of, firstly, the bear trap in July, which was rather nasty, but a good way of flushing out people who are accidentally in the stock. There was then a golden cross between the 50 and 200-day moving averages and a gap higher in August to let us know that it was a proper bear trap. And then we've had two gaps now since the July gap itself, and so 3 is normally about the most you see in a particular run. That does suggest that the shares are rising about as fast as they can. The view at this stage is that while we're above the floor of the latest gap, 59 pence on an end of day close basis, we could hit that September 2019 resistance line projection target at 85 pence, hopefully as soon as the end of this month. On to Horizonte, and with Horizonte we've got a situation where broken out of this near-term triangle from August, the break there around 7 pence, roughly where the 20 and 30-day moving averages are. Above 7 pence, looking for the top of the rising trend channel from August last year, as high as 12 or 12.5, hopefully over the next 4 to 6 weeks, or even less in the case of this situation. Stock which is we're all sort of looking over our shoulder in terms of the end of the month and the fate of the Barry Row situation. But with Lansdowne Oil Gas, we've broken above that old July peak of 1.35, and end of day close above that today should be enough, or over the next few days should be enough to take the shares up to that March resistance line projection, currently pointing at 2 pence. At this stage, only really back below the late September peak at 1.25 pence, really delaying the upside scenario. Stock which I complained about to somebody who requested it as a stock which doesn't really move very much. Lamprell has actually started to move. We held the gap seen there at the end of the month, the gap higher to start October. Floor of the gap there at 25 pence, and above that looking for the top of the rising trend channel from May, as high as 45 pence, hopefully over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Looks as though with all the near-term moving averages rising, we should start to see an acceleration in the pace. Some Twitterati looking at Landore, which is a bit of an unsung hero at the moment, but broke and closed above the 50-day moving average yesterday at 21 pence. While we're above that, looking for the top of the rising trend channel from back in October last year at 31 to 32 pence, hopefully by the end of this month. On to a stock which I know has its fans, Mobile Streams. It looks like it's got a fresh burst of energy now. Been in a consolidation pattern since, I suppose, the end of June. End of day close today above the July resistance at the 27.27 pence level. Should be enough to take the shares up to the top of that rising trend channel from April up to 0.3 or 0.4 pence. Ideally, if you're a fan of the shares, they actually head up to the wider channel. They're at 0.55, but let's take it one step at a time. As I said, above 0.27, the upside looks to be fully underway. Stock where we've already had pretty big upside, but there could be more, is Orosur Mining. We had that gap higher at the end of September, and the shares got into a consolidation. Looks like a mid-move consolidation here around 16, 17 pence. Bull flag there, well above old resistance as well, which is a plus point. And the view at this stage is that while there's no end-of-day close back below 13 pence, we should easily hit on a fresh breakout that resistance line projection from May last year, currently pointing at 25 pence. So a nice little setup there at Orosur Mining. Rockfire is back. The shares here had a little sort of, it was rather fiddly price action actually, just probably designed to make sure that people missed out on the latest move. We had that sort of weird sideways action below 0.085, which was the June floor, and hanging around there for a number of days. Giveaway on a possible move higher was, were the green candles there, and bullish divergence in the RSI window. Current situation is an end-of-day close above that mid-September peak at 1.17 pence should easily take the shares back up towards the September resistance, which was at 1 3/4 pence. So watch out for that particular setup. Just a few stocks to go today. First is Tuple, which has been slow but steady in terms of its recovery over the recent past. The more days we have above the 0.1 pence level in the July peak, which looks like neckline resistance, the better. Currently we're heading towards the March resistance line projection at 0.16 pence, but there could be much more on offer, hopefully, if the latest resistance here at 0.12 breaks over the next day or two, which hopefully it will. So up to as high as 0.2 there for Tuple if we break out of this current bull flag in a relatively swift fashion this week. Just a couple of stocks now to go. First is the Wishbone Gold, which I just interviewed, and here you can see that we had a gap higher yesterday with a perfect Marubozu candle there, opening at the low of the day and closing at the high of the day. Gapped up again today and hit 7 pence. Yesterday's ambitious target was up to 8 pence, which hopefully would still be hit while we hold above the 5 pence level. Big picture target here over the next 1 to 2 months, up to as high as 12 pence, which is a June resistance line projection from last year. So the upside really for Wishbone looks to be on track, at least while we hold above the 5 pence area. Finishing off with Expediator, which has been a bit of a fiddly situation in the recent past. We had the false dawn move. We've actually had a couple of false dawn moves here for the shares in the recent past. But you can see in the recent past, in fact, if you look back at last year, anytime the shares got through the 200-day line, they were sold off. So hopefully this will not happen on this occasion, given the way that we've gapped up through the 50-day moving average and through the 200-day lines. So let's say that while we're above the 50-day line at 23 pence, looking for the March resistance line projection at 43 pence plus. Obviously, it's a punchy call to suggest that we won't have another sell-off of the 200-day line, but that is the guess on this particular occasion. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.